Employees that continuously are looking to evolve and grow within, I think, are the ones that are best suited for change.
Work from home, Zoom meetings, just the world has kind of changed with the way that we approach our work. And it's changed a lot in the past few years, including just the way that everyone is working right now. And you've been no stranger to this as the VP of Brand and Marketing Strategy for the Pistons. So could you please tell us what your idea of flexible work schedule looks like?
Certainly. I mean, for starters, I moved to Detroit in August of 2020 in the heart of the pandemic from Los Angeles. So for the first 2 weeks of my employment, I actually managed 28 people from the West Coast in the height of the pandemic. So certainly well versed in understanding how you have to evolve in this dynamic world. Specifically as it relates to flexibility, having that opportunity to work from home, adjusted and flexible hours, all things that you have to be cognizant of to really create an environment that affords you to be able to adjust and adapt to what employees are going through.
Well, I want to ask you if you're seeing a clash of any kind between cultures on what their meaning of flexibility in the workplace means to them.
It's funny you ask that. For me, I mentioned those 28 employees. They range from 21 years old to 63 years old. So generational gap is certainly there, and everybody has their own style. I have someone who loves to come in at 6 a.m. every morning. He's buttoned up and ready to go, and he leaves right at 4 o'clock. Others who love to start a little later and sometimes leave at 4 o'clock, but then work until midnight. All part of where the world is headed and how you have to be on the pulse of things to truly maximize each and every person based on their skill sets. And I don't look at it as a clash. I look at it as an opportunity for people to see different styles and how that all melds together to create the perfect, well-balanced work environment.
Well, you know what? Many people are frontline workers, or they don't have a choice to work remotely. So what do you say for those in that position? How can they advocate for more workplace flexibility?
Yeah, in the case of the Detroit Pistons, we have an environment where there's live entertainment. So even during the heart of the pandemic, we had people who had to come and work game days. And obviously we put all the parameters in place to ensure that they were in a safe environment. But it's also providing, hey, you're working today, you have to be here. However, the next morning, why not come until noon? Or, hey, take a few days after this, knowing that you've just put in 6 days straight. So having that ability to accommodate and meet them where they are and assess and evaluate and ultimately, impact their needs is what we try to aim to do in every execution.
Are you using the Indeed mobile app? The app is free and makes it easy to apply right from your phone. Click the link below or just search Indeed in the App Store.
Well, do you think flexibility is only on the employees? Is that the employee's responsibility, or is that on the employers as well?
It's certainly a two-way street. I think, open dialogue and ensuring that each person or each side truly articulates their needs, and then meeting in the middle, or sometimes it may go one way or the other, but it certainly behooves everybody to be transparent and then figure out the solution from there.
Well, some people who are going into job interviews, they might feel uncomfortable even mentioning, asking about what kind of work-life flexibility they have because they don't want to seem uncommitted. How would you approach that in an interview?
First off, interviews are a two-way street. The employer is interviewing you and the employee is interviewing the employer. And if you go into that conversation with that mindset, you won't feel intimidated by asking questions that are important to you. And hopefully there's a proactive nature on behalf of the employer that is already inquiring about those types of questions in advance to provide that element of ease and comfortability. But thinking about it through that mindset will give you the confidence needed to be able to walk in, chest out, head held high, and I can ask these questions about my work-life balance, my mental health, and know that there won't be any, detriment as a result of that.
Adaptability and flexibility. Do you think these are qualities that maybe can help you stand out in your career? And if so, what are some ways that maybe an employee can show that?
Employees that continuously are looking to evolve and grow within, I think, are the ones that are best suited for change. To have that type of mindset and come in and to know that I have a coachable employee who's willing to adjust and pivot as needed is something that, I'm trying to build an entire roster of employees. I think even on the basketball court, thinking about the Detroit Pistons, we need adaptability.
And do you see, for the future, do you see adaptability and flexibility being something that it will continue to be prioritized?
Certainly. I think, again, to the point that I made earlier, adaptability and flexibility have to be at the forefront of what companies are about, as are what employees are about. And having those two together and being prioritized, I think you're ultimately going to see the continuation, the evolution of putting out better product and end results, because we've prioritized the fact that people want to bring about the right change and put better process in place.